Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Jacksonville, Florida, where tonight the Jacksonville Kings try and turn their season around from the Lions' Den, hosting the DC Dragons for the first time in quite some time, and a big one for DC. Welcome, everyone, to the Lions' Den alongside Tyler Falk tonight, Ron Haynes and Frank Gooden on stats. I'm Cameron Irvine. A big one here in primetime on Monday night. DC is in town, so are we. We're hoping for some drama here on Monday night where we haven't had it for like a month, Tyler, it feels like.
Absolutely, Cam. Thank you for having me. Hello to SFL Nation out there as we're taking a look at Jacksonville and DC. And the key tonight for these Kings as they get into closer and closer into desperation mode to keep their season alive and hopes for the playoffs alive. The key battles tonight are going to be the Jacksonville front seven, who have done a number to opposing backfields and quarterbacks, getting into the opposing backfields. Top five in this very, I shouldn't say young, but extensive SFL season. And for OJ Bruin, meanwhile, on the other side of the field for the Kings, can he continue to throw touchdowns? He's top 3 in the league in terms of touchdowns, but that interception bug is cruelly taking its toll. He's going to need to be more consistent tonight if he wants to lead his team in for a victory.
Greetings and salutations to you too, Jay. And to the rest of SFL Nation. The ball's on the tee, the hands in the air. Kick it, Jordan Bradshaw. We are underway as the DC Dragons will get the ball to start the ball game. We will start with a touchback. DC is 4-4. Jacksonville is 2-6, and the quarterback for DC is Shabazz Synergy. He definitely takes care of the football.
And especially when they have a nice, solid two-threat running game that really leads the charge. We'll very rarely see Synergy pass tonight. When he does pass, he is very effective.
Kevin Say on the return gets 8 yards to the 28-yard line. I'm thinking on the return because we didn't have a kick return. That's Say on his first carry of the night, along with Synergy, Chuck Stellar, Cooper Allen in the backfield as we get an early look at Mike Churchill with the nice block downfield. Fullback Cooper Allen, the wide receivers on this offense, Ronnie Shanahan, Sam Harrison, Mike Churchill, and Josh Gill. The tight ends are the very talented Lauren Prococo and the very charming James Walters. Lucas Walters is on the line at left tackle. Keep an eye on him, number 50 tonight right tackle for the DC Dragons. Man goes in motion, 2nd down and 2. Heavy look here for Jacksonville. They will toss it out to Say. Say trying to follow Cooper Allen, who did not pick up the block. And Jacksonville gets the early stop. That's John Patrick Levine with the tackle.
And that's what Jacksonville is going to have to do. They're going to have to, not just that front seven, but those corners are going to have to contain the edges tonight because DC loves to pitch the ball out to both Say and Stellar.
3rd down and 1. Can Jacksonville get off the field? That's a hard no. Kevin Say, 40, 45, midfield. Kevin Say off to the races and finally wrapped up deep into Jacksonville territory at the 39-yard line. An explosive start for the Dragons on offense.
And that's just a beautiful play call and even better execution by the front line of DC. They run almost a trap counter play, and you see those linemen just get over and able to create a bigger hole for Say to run through. Really well done run play from DC.
The DC Dragons this season 6th in the league in rushing yards, 183.1. and 11th in yards per carry, 5.1 yards a tote. 8:30 to go in the first quarter. DC on their opening possession in the black helmets, white jerseys, black pants, black numbers, the blue and gold trim. Chuck Stellar's first carry picks up 9. Jacksonville wears your white helmets, purple jerseys, and white pants. Their defense is led on the front line by Taekwon Hale, the 12-season veteran, Forrest Dalton, Joey Swinton, Logan Gardner, inside linebackers, John Martin, but the rest of their defense comes out of the secondary. Toby Nur, Nathan Nur, Roy Towers, Young Vaught, Bernard Gooden that is Alex Bond coming up with the TFL there, a loss of 3. John Patrick Levine, Tigga Clay, and Bond. This is one of the most unique defenses in the SFL, and at times, Tyler, they've been pretty successful like that TFL right there.
Just they weren't able to stop him on third down early in this drive. Can they stop him here, Cam?
3rd and 4. Handoff again. It's Stellar. He is short. And Jacksonville may get off the field. We'll see if DC tries to keep the offense out there. Tigga Clay with the takedown, and it does look like they'll bring out Potty for the 47-yard field goal. That's a win for the Kings here early.
Absolutely, and Tigga Clay was the man running step for step with Say on the long 32-yard run that set up this field goal.
Potty. Kick is good. 13 of 13 this season. 7-play, 49-yard drive, but Jacksonville gets a partial stop. And we'll get to see what their offense has in store for the Dragons tonight. Coming off a bye week. Jacksonville, 2 weeks to prepare for this big showdown. They, a couple of weeks ago, hosted Baltimore here, and they gave the Vultures all they could handle. Just fell short ultimately in that contest. Jacksonville has lost 3 straight by 10 points or less. As this return from the goal line will get up to the 25-yard line. Return by Joe Beasley. O.J. Bruin coming out. He is a firecracker, Tyler. It's big risk, big reward.
And maybe OJ has had a little more OJ in his system to keep him spry during the bye week.
Oh, it's Kenny Slider.
Again, well, here we go. Only 4 passing attempts from Kenny Slider this season. Might he get a chance to air the football? The former Rattlesnake from Lincoln.
Interesting development here in Jacksonville as that handoff goes to Jay Ballmer. He picks up 4. So, wow, we're seeing a little bit different Jacksonville Kings already here to start. Let's introduce you to their entire offense. O.J. Bruin is back out there on the field along with Kenny Slider. Both quarterbacks will obviously see some time tonight. Sean Sanders, Shepard Vakarian, a couple of great running backs in this system as well, as Bruin's pass is caught by Talon Steele. Momentum carries him out of bounds after a gain of just 1. He's the tight end along with Jim Copeland Jr., the receiving core led by Kingston Ellington, Connor West, and David Gears. Joe Beasley on the line. Brennan Ryan wears number 65. Marcella Martin wears number 73. You want to take a look at them tonight. Both of them undrafted rookies on this squad. Early 3rd down here. Slider is back out there. And Kenny Slider's going to pass. And Kenny Slider's got a pretty clean pocket. Slider rolling to his left, fires deep down the field. That passes into triple coverage and incomplete. So Slider tried to force something down the field. Thought he might take off there, Tyler, but it's a 3 and out for Jacks. They'll have to punt.
No, I like what Jacksonville's trying to do. They're trying to mix things up there. They've got 2 quarterbacks for a reason and trying to shuffle them up to get DC off guard early, which is a good sign from a game planning perspective. Unfortunately, it's a quick 3 and out.
Punt is away from Victor Ironleg, as that return is a nice one up to the 40-yard line. Sam Harrison gets DC some great field position. Jacksonville, I think the only team in SFL history with 2 punters on the roster, but it's Victor Ironleg, who we've seen plenty of so far this season. First down, DC. Jacksonville's 7.5-point underdogs, 57.5 over-under. Got 7 in the box at the moment. Handoff goes to Kevin Say, and Kevin Say is wrapped up in the backfield. Stopped by John Martin, their top linebacker on this squad. Jacksonville, despite being smaller in stature, is 2nd in the SFL, coming in with 77 tackles behind the line.
And it's really led by John Martin. Ever since Hunter Norwood left the Kings organization a few seasons ago, John Martin has really stepped up to lead the defense.
Synergy against a blitz. Wide open Josh Gill. Gill in a foot race being tracked down by Roy Towers, and Towers is going to bring him down to the 3-yard line, but Jacksonville got way too aggressive. DC nearly made him pay for it all in one chunk.
Wow, what a play there from DC. They know that Jacksonville knows that they like to run the football, so what a brilliant play design. 57 total yards for Gill, but great hustle there from Towers just to get him inside the 5-yard line. A touchdown saving grab. Now, can they force this offense, which is extremely good here in the red zone, to just 3 points?
Towers, the number 101st pick in the rookie draft, makes that stop. As Tyler mentioned, this offense fifth in the SFL in red zone scoring percentage. Kevin Say is put down by Tigga Clay at around the 2.
And usually we'll see linebackers tackling the halfbacks a whole bunch, but we've seen that Jacksonville loves to mix things up, get everybody involved in the defense, and everyone is more involved in run support than they are in pass protection, which is going to be crucial against this run-heavy Dragons offense.
9 in the box, 2nd down and goal. They flip it outside. Kevin Say wrapped up a loss of 2 yards. They just clean up all the running lanes. John Martin with the stop, 3rd and goal.
Martin and Clay leading the way through the middle. DC's going to have to dial something up different because Jacksonville is all over the short yardage running game.
Synergy just the one pass so far in this game. 9 runs for the Dragons, trying to punch it in. Kevin Say walks it in. Wow, that was a stark comparison to the first 2 plays. Touchdown Dragons, they're up 9-0.
And that's exactly what DC ordered. They're getting Jacksonville thinking, all right, we stopped on the ground, even pushed them back on the ground the first 2 drives. They surely have to pass, but DC does not go away from their identity. They get great blocks in the end zone, in fact, and it's a 2-score lead for the Dragons.
And that's just the kind of season that Jacksonville's been dealing with, Tyler. They've shown 3 or 4 times tonight that they can get into the backfield, but then when it seems to matter the most, they give up a 56-yard pass, or the guy walks into the end zone and it's all for naught. 5-play, 61-yard drive. Potty's extra point is good. 10-0 DC, and we're just getting going out of the gates. No time to panic for the Kings. Their offense hasn't had time to shine just yet. We'll see what they do on their second possession.
Only 3 plays on their first possession. Not a whole lot for a sample size, but down by 10. We'll see if they try to air out the football a lot more with their true starting quarterback, O.J. Bruin, and he'll start on his own 20-yard line.
So Bruin and or Slider will come out to lead the offense. Vakarian or Norris Sanders had a carry on that first possession. They both are very exciting football players to watch, especially with Jay Ballmer blocking for him. It is Shepard Vakarian in the backfield to start this off. Slider is back out there at quarterback. David Gears will go in motion, being followed across the formation by Xavier Rue III. 3 on the play clock. Slider going to throw. Slider dropping back. Kenny Slider took all kinds of time and going to draw a PI. Kingston Ellington was the intended receiver. First down, Jacksonville.
And that's just unfortunate for DC. Again, these plays just really look bang, bang, but just unable to keep it clean. And DC's only been penalized now 7 times, which coming into this weekend was top 5 in the league. And so this is very unorthodox and very unexpected, just to be a little bit too antsy there in the Lions' den. Yeah,
just the 7th penalty for DC this season. And look, that's DC's game. Keep it clean. 6 penalties, 8 turnovers. They've kept it sparkling, the box score, that is, so far this season. Not there, though. 1st and 10 of the 29, so we'll get a first handoff of the night to Sean Sanders, and Declan O'Rourke and a couple of his friends bring him down after a 2.5-yard gain.
Sanders this season has been the leading rusher for Jacksonville. Over 100 carries. He's near the back end in terms of total yardage with just over 500 coming to this weekend, but they're going to need this running game to really set up some solid 3rd downs, which they really haven't been able to do so far this season. And Bruin in trouble.
Tried to set up a screen and lost 10. John Gary, I don't know what Bruin was waiting for. It looked like he had the blockers out there.
It just took too long to develop to get those blockers out there. I don't know what Bruin was trying to do. Maybe catch the defense off guard and try and throw it deep down the field, but you got to get rid of the football. That internal clock just has to be ringing in the head at a time like this, and now they're set way back the field, 3rd and a country mile.
John Gary's first sack of the season. O.J. Bruin's pass is caught, first down in double coverage. Connor Weston at the 40-yard line. What a pickup he's been for him this season.
Are you kidding me? The league's second best getter in touchdowns comes up with a sublime catch. But how about Bruin making up for taking too much time in the pocket, gets it out within 2 seconds to Weston. That was a sublime pass from O.J. Bruin.
Man, a great camera angle to boot as well. That was terrific from O.J. to convert the 3rd down and 17. Jacksonville's really struggled on 3rd downs this season, just 48%. Second to last in the SFL, but they looked great on that one. This is a handoff to Vakarian, his first carry. Shepard Vakarian picks up 7. Jacksonville starting to spin the momentum dial further in their direction.
And how about Jay Ballmer, the fullback, getting out there for an extra block? And now this is a much better second down compared to a couple plays ago. It's 2nd and short. This is an opportunity where Jacksonville needs to pounce.
Nearing midfield, it's Bruin handing off to Sanders, and Sanders is lit up by Chris Britton III. Speaking of which, you ever seen the show Suits, Tyler?
I've seen a couple episodes. What you got?
Oh, okay. You wouldn't know. There's a character, Lewis Litt, talks about getting lit up. He got it on a mug and all that. So it just reminded me of that. That's all. If there's any Suits fans out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Like a Christmas tree, potentially?
Yeah, you just got lit up. Exactly. 3rd and 1. Handoff. Sean Sanders somehow able to break away. Hurdles a couple of his teammates that were lying on the ground. Picks up a 1st down. Athletic run from Sean.
That does not happen without Weston getting a blocker on the outside, sacrificing his body. That way, Sanders has an opportunity to get further to the outside and escape the linebackers just enough for him to get a 1st down. And now they're on the opposite side of midfield.
And what they're doing, too, is they're draining some clock. They are 26th in time of possession, 18 minutes, 17 seconds in the SFL, so they'd like to string together some longer drives. They're doing that here. Jay Ballmer goes in motion. Out to the right side, it's Kenny Slider. That is his first completion of the night. Connor Weston with a 1st down, his 2nd catch.
And only the 2nd completion for Slider in his rookie season, but he's able to have Connor Weston, who set the block on that 3rd down play, runs a nice slant pattern over the middle, completely catching Chris Britton III off guard and getting a nice catch.
This is what you like to see, Tyler. If you're going to draft a backup, you know, it's not like the quarterback class was bad. These are some really capable quarterbacks. And Kenny Slider in the mix. This makes things interesting. Draw play, handoff to Shepard Vakarian, but he could not get off of the block. That was Kano Fortson who totally destroyed that play, a 1-yard gain.
Xavier Rowe III comes down after seeing Vakarian struggle behind his own offensive lineman. For the tackle, just has eyes for the football.
2nd and 9, nickel look here for DC. Up 10-0. If they win this game, they'll still only be 1 game back of Baltimore in the loss column, although they got swept by the Vultures, so they'll need Baltimore to go on a collapse just a bit. Ballmer gets his 2nd carry of the evening to set up a more manageable 3rd down.
And while we were talking earlier about not having the best 3rd down percentage amongst the rest of the SFL, they've already converted on 2 on this drive. Can they keep the drive going? And they're going to keep Slider out there. One of the longest tenured SFLM quarterbacks, like you were mentioned. He's not a slouch. He's just been waiting for his time. And here is a time to shine.
3rd and 5. Slider, clean pocket. Slider dumps it off short, but a nice open field tackle by Darrell Bullock, not allowing the receiver to get out of the grasp. Only a gain of 3. They'll settle for 3 at the end of the 1st quarter. Here on the Monday Night Spectacular, presented by APM Music. DC's off to a hot start. Jacksonville's showing some life as they try and win out, make things interesting for the playoffs. Alongside Frank Gooden, Ron Haynes on stats. Rochelle Colston always lurking in the background. Tyler Falk, I'm Cameron Irvine, here with you on this Week 11 edition of the Monday Night Spectacular. This is Jordan Bradshaw in his 4th season, booting it deep, and that field goal is good. 10-3 as we begin the 2nd quarter of points.
What a solid drive from Jacksonville. 12 plays on that last drive, and they're able to get some points out of it, which is a stark contrast from the opening drive for Jacksonville, where they went 3 and out. They came out on drive number 2, had a much more composed thought process and plan for the drive, and ultimately ended in a field goal. But it brings some more positivity. Like, we can drive on DC. We can take it to a team that is fighting for a division title.
Return 1 yard deep in the end zone by Ronnie Shanahan. Gets it out of the 25-yard line. Great point by Ron in our stats truck. Jay Ballmer and Shepard Vakarian, both SFLM champs last season. It is kind of interesting, Tyler. You go some people never win any kind of title in any role, right? It's very, very difficult to do, and it's especially difficult to do when you're in the minors, you're winning titles down there, and then you come into the pros and there's way more teams, there's way more players, there's way more competition, and it gets just that much harder. Jacksonville 2-6 going through those growing pains. Shabazz Synergy sends a man in motion, drops back to throw, and his second pass of the night is dropped by Lauren Percoco, who's been phenomenal all season long. 2nd and 10.
I was going to say, Percoco rarely drops those. She has 44 receptions coming in to tonight's game. The next closest receiver for DC is Mike Churchill with 17. You can tell when Synergy wants to throw the ball, we know who he's going to. That's a rare drop from Percoco.
Synergy's pass incomplete. John Martin stepped in front. First pass deflection for Jacksonville tonight. Interesting thing about DC's offense, Percoco, the tight end, has the longest reception of the season at 49. They have not had a single play, running or passing, this season of over 50 yards. It's just kind of bizarre. Josh Gill, 38-yard catch, longest out of a receiver. 3rd and 10. 4 wide, 3 to the left. Synergy rolling. Synergy going to be sacked as he tried to escape out the back. Put down by Logan Gardner. First sack of the night for Jacksonville.
And Gardner's 5th sack of the season, 7th TFL, and again, they're just hungry. He gets off the defensive tackle, and you see Synergy trying to escape the pocket, trying to buy some time, and he closes it and shuts it down. That's a massive stand for this Jacksonville defense.
DC punts it away from the 48-yard line and no further. That's Joe Beasley with the stop. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline. Start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. That punt just goes for a net of 27 yards. Thank you, Ron. Flip out. Shepard Vakarian. Oh, Shepard Vakarian left a bruise on the eye of Xavier Rue and picks up 4.
That's just the hard running that we're going to have to see from this Jacksonville running game, who needs to get something going so that Bruin and Slider don't have a whole lot of pressure put on them in the passing game.
Xavier Rowe, O.J. Bruin back in 2 for 2 for 19 yards, but did take a sack. 1 for 2 for 12 yards. Kenny Slider so far. Bruin back to pass. Bruin is instantly pressured, escapes to his left beautifully, and then dumps it off to Weston, who didn't get much on the play. But O.J. Bruin's ability to scramble it's evident that the kid's got talent, clearly.
And there's a reason why Jacksonville are sticking with him, and rightfully so. He's a great quarterback. There's a lot of bad bounces we've seen throughout his career, and here in Jacksonville as well, but he can buy time, and they're going to need to see a lot more of that here tonight. Slider back in, though.
3rd and 5. Kenny Slider. Can he convert another 3rd down? No, that pass is deflected and incomplete. Broken up by John DeSantis, and both defenses are now starting to settle into this one. Jacksonville will have to punt, try and pin the Dragons deep with Iron Leg.
And the one thing about a dual quarterback system is neither quarterback is able to really establish a rhythm of getting in the pocket after every play and establishing a rhythmic tempo with the receivers play in and play out.
Fair catch called for at the 11, so DC going to be starting deep. Jadu Bidu, the rookie corner, having a conversation with his running mate on special teams. For all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future. 8:17 left. 10-3, DC. Ball on their own 11. 4 down linemen, 4-4 look for Jacksonville. Synergy drops back to pass, caught by Percoco. First down, Percoco toppling young Vaught past the 30-yard line for a first down.
That's just a beautiful pass from Synergy as he just floats it over John Patrick Levine and Tigga Clay just perfectly. We talk about threading the needle.
Man.
We talk about putting the ball in a window, and we've seen a lot of great passing tonight from Synergy.
That took a lot of trust, didn't it, Tyler? She did not look open, and
No,
he basically threw her open.
and going back to earlier in the game, she dropped one attempted pass from Synergy. It just shows the trust that Synergy has with Percoco.
Kevin Say gains 1. That's John Martin again. Man, what a beast. 4 tackles already, second down.
I've been telling you here, Cam. He is the captain of this defense, and he has really been just thrust into this role, and he has taken the role as the captain of the defense in stride. He's a phenomenal linebacker.
7.5 left, 8 in the box for the Kings once again. They'll rush just 4. Synergy's pass caught by Percoco. There were Kings all over. First down for DC, her second catch.
All over in coverage, all over in the backfield, but just unable to get to Synergy in time. Look at the defensive lineman fanning out, trying to collapse the pocket from the outside, but it's not enough. They're not getting there quick enough, and that's why Synergy is able to connect with Percoco again.
Tigga Clay and John Patrick Levine, got to have your head on a swivel out there when Lauren Percoco's involved. You think you got it covered, and you don't. 7 minutes left. Jacksonville blitzes, and Kevin Say faces punishment. Say now 43 yards on 10 carries, but 31 of them came on one run. Taekwon Hale with the stop.
And how about the linebackers who sense to run up the middle? They immediately crash into the line even before the ball is snapped and just stuff the A-gap, denying any forward progress. Or I should say, about only a yard of forward progress.
Percoco goes in motion. Jacksonville in a zone. 6.5 to go in the first half. 10-3. Dragons. Synergy drops against a 5-man rush. Synergy's, oh my gosh! Somebody get him to the hospital. That was a vicious hit. I don't know how he got up after that one, Tyler. That one almost threw me out of my chair. 3rd and 9.
Are we sure there isn't an imprint of Synergy still left in the turf? Taekwon Hale just leveled him.
Wow. 3rd and 9. How do you come back from that if you're Shabazz? 3 for 6 for 89 yards. Shabazz against a blitz. Goes down the field and passes. Caught by Mike Churchill. What a play. Churchill's first catch on his first target.
They send the linebackers to try and get an extra man to get to Synergy. They play man-to-man with an extra man on the slot, but still Synergy is able to find, oh my goodness, Churchill. Synergy is throwing dots tonight.
Man, these quarterbacks out here, it's just been exciting. All 3 of them that have played tonight have just made some phenomenal throws thus far. 1st and 10 after the completion to Churchill that went for 16 yards. Synergy 4 passes, all 15 yards or more so far in this game. Chuck Stellar put down by Taekwon Hale, having a nice half. 0 on the game.
And ever since we saw that long run from Say on that counter trap play, Hale has really locked down his side of the line with authority, with the hit on Synergy and now with the last tackle on Say.
2nd and 10, Shabazz over the middle. Lauren Percoco uncovered, breaks a tackle inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line. Someone missed an assignment, and Toby Nur had to clean it up at the end of the play.
Again, they try and send an outside blitz, which left Percoco free, unguarded for the first 5 yards. Just see how much space she has in the middle of the field as they sent John Martin up, and Percoco has a nice couple extra moves to gain more field into the red zone now.
There's Prococo's numbers. That one she didn't catch was just a total drop. She's shaking it off now to put up 56 yards on 3 receptions halfway through the second quarter. Walters out wide. That's where Kevin Say's going. Say breaks off a tackle, then picked up from the arms of Tigga Clay. 5th tackle on the night for Tigga.
If it's not Hale and if it's not Martin, it's been Clay, who has really almost been, we talk about a whole lot of quarterback spies, having one man really look at the quarterback, especially if it's a shifty quarterback. Clay has been almost a spy for the halfback.
Draw to Say, and Martin not fooled, so it's going to set up a 3rd down and 7 for the Dragons. You know, Jacksonville, because they're 2-6, Tyler, I don't think they get a lot of credit at this point in the season for what they did this offseason, but they got players from D.C., John Patrick Levine playing his former team, Minnesota, London, Houston, Arizona, Seattle. They were all over this, and by the way, it's Jay Ballmer's game against his former team tonight as another one of our storylines this evening. 3rd down and 7 for the Dragons with 4 minutes left in the half. Jacksonville sending pressure, and that pass is overthrown as Synergy got a little happy feet in the pocket. That'll force a field goal.
The pressure finally forces an error out of Synergy, but Gill just not quick enough to get around his opposite number. Great coverage here from the corner, just able to delay the pass, delay an attempted reception, which would have been a touchdown.
Nathan Nurse, solid coverage down there against Gill, who had the 56-yard catch earlier in the game. So 32-yard chip shot here for Potty. It's probably why we've seen Ballmer a little bit more involved in the offense tonight. 8 carries so far this season, 2 already here in the first half. That field goal was good. 13-3 DCA, 12-play, 75-yard, 4-minute, 17-second drive.
A solid stand from the Jacksonville defense after just being on the field for so long in the drive, and DC just an excellent job trying to get downfield after Jacksonville had a long drive themselves. The key thing now for Jacksonville, are they able to finally put another drive together, or are they going to be more Jekyll and Hyde every other drive? Because right now that's the pattern forming.
Beasley on the return, nice up to the 34-yard line. DC only giving up 3 points so far tonight. If that trend continued, that would be their 3rd game this season. They've given up 6 points or less. In fact, on the Monday Night Spectacular in Week 2, we saw DC on the road as well at Atlanta. They won that game 20-6, playing a similar type of game so far this evening. DC's scored on 3 of their 4 opening drives. Jay Ballmer split out wide at fullback, going in motion. Slider back in the game at quarterback. Draw. Shepard Vakarian's got some space. Vakarian picks up 8. Nice start to the drive.
DC's been thinking pass on first down, but it's been run, and they catch the defense completely off guard by doing a delayed handoff and getting a really solid gain on first down, setting up a 2nd and short.
2nd down 2, 3.5 to go in the second quarter. Bruin back in. Just thinking about Ron. Just thinking about Ron before the game, asking, do they run 2 quarterbacks? Oh, look at Sean Sanders got a first down. He's like, they run a 2 quarterback system, and we're like, nah, not really. And he's like, oh, okay, that's good. It'll be an easy night for me. And then, what do you know? 2 quarterbacks all night long. Slider back in, first down.
That's just a massive credit for Jacksonville and for Frank Gooden, who has really had his struggles this season. This whole team has had struggles, but tonight they're really mixing it up, keeping everybody, including our statistician, on his toes.
Draw again. This time, Vakarian brought down after a gain of just 1. Declan O'Rourke with his first solo tackle of the half. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There's no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. And grow we continue. 2nd and 9. David Gear's been a little bit quiet And this half goes in motion from left to right. Bruin to throw. Clean pocket. David Gears right on cue. First down, the third different player with a catch in the first half.
He hears you, Cam. He hears you. He's right there across the middle of the field, and he gets behind the linebackers. Nothing that the safety, John DeSantis, could do about it. Just perfectly timed and perfectly executed from Jackson.
Does that make me Santa Claus? Chris Curtis would not like me trying to claim that title. 2:10 to go. Poor guy's working late. 2:10 to go in the second quarter. Draw again. This time it's Sean Sanders on the draw. And they're going to mark him. Oh, he's hurt.
No.
Sean Sanders is down. That is disappointing. He was having such a solid start to this ball game, and Shepard Vakarian going to have to get more touches.
And on one of his best runs of the night, too, Cam, he makes a linebacker miss the outside, and hopefully he's back in later this evening. But that did not look good. I think he twisted an ankle or something.
So 2nd down and 1. Jacksonville's longest drive of the night, 47 yards. This one has gone 40. Trying to convert the first down now with Sean Sanders hurt. 27 yards on 5 carries to start the night. So Vakarian takes over, and Vakarian gets inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line to take us to the 2-minute warning. We got a good one brewing on Monday night as Jacksonville showing a lot of fight here at home, trying to upset the Dragons to end Week 11. You're watching the Monday Night Spectacular on the SFL YouTube network, presented by APM Music. It's been a fun one, partner. This is what we had hoped to see. Jacksonville not lying down.
And they're in the thick of it right now, back in the red zone for only the first time this evening. We'll see if they can put some points on the board and really make a game of it.
Kingston Ellington goes in motion. He hasn't had a catch. Maybe this is his time. Nope, slider going the other way. That one looked like a drop from David Gears, although pretty tight coverage from Bullock will bring up 2nd down and 10. Slider now 1 for 4.
I was going to say it was really tight, the coverage, and just unable to really outstretch his arms. He wasn't really impeded a whole lot, just had to slow up just to catch up to the football, and unfortunately unable to bring it in.
2nd down and 10. 1:57 to go in the first half. Slider, handoff Jay Ballmer against his former team, and Ballmer will muscle ahead for a 5-yard pickup. Tyler, they're making 3rd down more manageable. They're seeing it. 3rd carry for Jay.
It's some of the best football we've seen Jacksonville offense run this season, making these 3rd downs just a bit easier to convert, and they've done a great job of it tonight.
Slider looking, Slider, all kinds of time, dumps it over the middle, and David Gears can't get away. That is a superb open field tackle from Declan O'Rourke, easier than the Dragons, or much more difficult, I should say, than the Dragons made it look. Jacksonville will have to settle for another 3.
That's a similar play call we saw earlier in the ball game on 3rd down, where they're looking for a few yards, and that play, as we've seen, has only resulted in 3 plays and a loss of 1. So maybe it's time to change out that play call on 3rd down just to get those 5 yards. Get a play call that works for maybe a little bit longer distance. Jacksonville
will bleed the clock as DC elects to save all of their 3 timeouts. The kick from Jordan Bradshaw is good, and Jacksonville on a 10-play, 50-yard drive gets 3 more points up on the board. DC, unless Jacksonville does something wild in the last minute on defense or special teams, this will be at least their 5th half this season. They have not given up a touchdown, Tyler. 23.3 points per game, average that's 5th best in the SFL. They are just so incredibly impressive. Kick is deep and out of the back of the end zone. Hit the upright on its way back up. Dang, Jordan.
If only that counted, Cam. Wouldn't Jacksonville love to have a couple extra points on the board just for...
Think how exciting kickoffs would be if it did count for a point, right? Why can't we? It's like a rouge. Come on, NFL.
We don't have to worry about, it has to go within the first 25 or the last 25 yards, and we can fair catch for a fair catch. It'll be spot on the 25. No, just give us extra points.
Kevin Say runs for 5. I think DC's just going to run this clock out. Wanted to see what they could get on that first carry. Not much. See what they do on 2nd down.
That's some of the best running we've seen on first down from DC in quite some time. Just, it's a credit to this front seven of Jacksonville doing a solid job. 50 yards only for Kevin Say here in this first half.
Down to 28 seconds to go in the half. No halftime show tonight. Chris Curtis is off. Tyler is with me here in the booth, so we'll keep things moving this evening, at least from a clock perspective, as Chuck Steller gets a first down, but we're headed to the half.
A big key for DC coming into as we enter into this final couple seconds. Wonder if they'll snap it. I'll step aside.
Oh, Synergy is going to throw deep, in fact. Oh, it's caught by Churchill. Churchill's going to run out of time, but Synergy will pad the stats. He'll get over 150 before the break, and they'll take some momentum into the locker room.
60% completion percentage. Let's get Churchill involved again. 2 targets, 2 receptions, 46 yards, and a solid line to end the half. And you know, it's a one-score ball game. That's a positive for Jacksonville coming into the half, and as they look to maybe get back to maybe a tie ball game and maybe eventually push it out for the 904. The big key is they haven't been able to finish a drive. They've been stymied on short yardage third downs, which should be in theory easier to convert. They've been able to get into a position to score, just unable to find the right play call to catch this DC defense off guard. And for DC, the running game has, you know, in retrospect, they have been a little stymied. Not a whole lot of yards from Say or Steller, but the passing game has really complemented in what really has not really been a strength, but they've been able to rely on it tonight and keep Jacksonville's offense off the field for a majority of tonight's game.
There's your first half player of the game, Kevin Say, with that touchdown. Easy choice there, as it's otherwise been a kicking battle. I guess you could have given it to Potty. Potty would have loved that. 2 for 2 in the first half, and then tacked on an extra point. He's your leading scorer with 7 points right now in the ball game. There's a look at the beautiful Lions Den here from Jacksonville, Florida. Eat your heart out, Shad Khan. We already have a dome. We didn't need $2 million to build it either. Start of the second half. Ron Haynes, Frank Gooden, Tyler Falk, Cameron Irvine with you. That was a brilliant first half of football. What is in store for us in the second half? Joe Beasley on the return. Beasley put down at the 28-yard line. Week 12 of the SFL season has 11 more games on tap, headlined on Friday by 3 matchups pivotal to the playoffs. Saturday's monster showdowns that include Florida, D.C., and Houston, Vancouver, plus Sunday's must-win tussle in the Central between Sioux Falls and Tulsa. For a complete Week 12 slate, head over to simulationfl.net to plan your weekend. Feels like every game's important these days, Tyler.
Absolutely. And we talk about the Central Division, and we're really fighting for 6 and 6. If things go even more kittywampus, we might see our first division winner under 500 headed in the postseason.
Shepard Verkarian 9-yard play. The draw has been really effective on first down for DC as they are expecting pass. Verkarian now 36 yards on 7 attempts. We'll monitor Sean Sanders. If we don't see him before the end of the third quarter, we'll get an injury update for you and anybody else that might happen to get hurt. Hand off, running a sweep. Shepard Verkarian's got a first down. Jacksonville's drive continues.
That's a tight one. Vasquez got there in a hurry just to get the line of scrimmage, and they'll still give it to Jacksonville for a first down, but still, we're going to see a lot of these tough yardage situations, a lot of these tough plays. They're going to have to be contained.
Oh, Balmer on a nice, that was like a fullback trap, quick handoff, 8-yard gain for Balmer. By the way, in the first half, DC had 31 total plays and Jacksonville had 30 total plays, so it's been about dead even. And Balmer's up to 4 carries. How about good on Jacksonville for giving him more looks against his old team?
You know, it's not really a revenge game for playing against your former team, but it's always nice to really show your former team what they had.
That's the games against Texas for Jay Ballmer as Vakarian gets a first down.
So just like that, this offensive attack and offensive running game a little bit more solidified here to begin this second half. It's a good omen for Jacksonville at the moment.
Ball in midfield. Slider hands it off to Ballmer again. Jay Ballmer, been a handful, 6-yard pickup. And I got to say, Tyler, 11 weeks into this season, I haven't really seen a lot of, like, quick traps to the fullback. This is pretty creative here by the Kings.
And it's really caught the DC defense off guard. They're looking for more of a developed run play, like a dive or a sweep or something. But these quick hitters up the middle, like you mentioned, are proving effective.
Vakarian now, 2nd and 4, got a first down to the DC 37-yard line. And Jacksonville beating DC at their own game at the moment.
Exactly. Two of the best rushers in DC looking at Vakarian, who's now doubling his workload and really getting started here tonight.
Well, now the third stringer's in for Jacksonville, but he's not going to get the carry. Ballmer's is going to get another 7. I saw what you were looking at, the 34. He may have switched jerseys.
Just a little bit, but again, Ballmer playing very well here on this drive. Another solid carry, and it sets up 2nd and short. And this is where Jacksonville, 2nd and short, 3rd and short, need to be a little bit more effective, and they've done so on this drive.
7:10 to go in the third. This drive nearly 3 minutes to start the half, but Jacksonville's problem has been finishing drives, not starting them. 2nd and 3. 2 in the backfield. They'll hand it off again, and it's Vakarian. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Pickup of 0. Josh Vasquez with his 11th tackle, low-key, so far in this one, and I'd love to see some play action here.
He's really had an opportunity to really stop and get his hands on the halfbacks. And you're right, a play action pass would really throw off DC at the moment. We have not seen a play action from Jacksonville at all tonight.
3rd and 3, Slider straight back. The blitz is picked up. Slider's pass is incomplete. He's now 2 for 6, and another drive stalls for the Kings. How frustrating.
And that one, it was a little bit different play from what we've seen on 3rd and short, but just not accurate. Slider, his rookie season, trying to make a statement here in a game which he really hasn't featured too much in this SFL season. Just unable to connect with Weston over the middle.
47-yard attempt for Bradshaw. That is money right down the middle. Kick is good with no elements. 10-play, 40-yard drive. Jacksonville in the first half had a 10-play, 50-yard drive. And it's 13-9 in this one. Scoregami, perhaps.
And we see Jacksonville trying to come back with, if you're trying to put maybe a team away, you're trying to do death by 1,000 cuts in the scenario, but what is a comeback by 1,000 cuts? Comeback by 1,000 nibbles, maybe? I don't know.
Kick is away. 2 yards deep in the end zone. That is Ronnie Shanahan on the return to the 24-yard line. Shanahan's gotten a couple opportunities, and Sam Harrison had the first couple. Harrison, the 40th pick in the draft this season. Shanahan, a 3rd season veteran, all with DC. All right, so DC's offense back out there. Finally, 3.5 to go, or 3.5 taken off in the third. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line for Synergy. They'll start the half with a Kevin Say carry, and Say is cut down by Tigga Clay after a 3-yard pickup.
How about the safeties again? We talked about it earlier that Jacksonville not only uses their front 7, but everybody on Jacksonville's defensive 11 who just is more involved in run stopping, trying to contain a very difficult run offense.
Synergy to pass, 5-man on the rush, and Kevin Say gets the dump off, won't get the first down. Jacksonville just swarms to the football. Roy Towers with another key tackle.
And when the run game isn't working, let's get the pass game working with our running backs. But like you mentioned, Towers, Johnny on the spot there, deny the first down. And now this is where Jacksonville's defense can maybe send that front 7 they might be expecting a run here on 3rd and short.
3rd and 1, unbalanced line to the left. That's where they're going, and Kevin Saya's going to be stopped. How does that happen? Roy Towers, who averaged 3 tackles per game so far this season, gets his 4th. That's a TFL, and that's a DC punt.
If I'm Frank Gooden, I'm giving Roy Towers a game ball after tonight's performance. What a stop. And if that leads to another couple of points, another field goal perhaps, you're talking about a 1-point ball game between DC and Jacksonville.
Ooh. Wow. Jadoobie-doo. Did you see that? They put him on special teams. He was blazing down the field and nearly knocked the ball out.
I mean, it's just tough. It's tough on our special teams, especially as a returner. You're hoping that your front guys can maybe block the line for just a little bit longer, but unfortunately, the gunner Jadoobie-doo gets to him, and now he's got an extra bruise to wake up to tomorrow morning.
Tyler, I'm geeking out tonight. I mean, this is great football we're watching here this evening. Best Monday night game in the last few weeks. Kenny Slider going to drop back to pass. Slider's pass is hauled in by David Gears as he stabs that one like you stabbed the last piece of turkey at Thanksgiving. 2nd and 7.
I mean, it might be a very long table that Gears has had practice with because he really had to stretch out for that one.
Bruin back in. Slider 3 for 7, but most of his stuff has been underneath. Bruin 4 for 4 for 36. Took that one bad sack as he will hand it off on a sweep to Vakarian. And now DC starting to get a little wise to the outside runs as O'Rourke makes another stop, or his first stop in the backfield, rather. 7th tackle.
Well, this actually might work out in Jacksonville's favor. They've had trouble on 3rd and short. Maybe a 3rd and medium, 3rd and long might actually open up their playbook just a bit.
3rd and 7. They're going to go empty here. Kingston Ellington goes in motion, still without a catch. Maybe I can will another reception into existence here from Jacksonville's receiving core. Out of the dime, DC rushes just 4. Bruin stands tall, deep down the field, incomplete. Was looking for Ellington, but John DeSantis knocks it away. 5th pass deflection for the Dragons tonight, and that's disappointing out of the Kings. 3 and out after their defense came away with a stop.
And it's been timely deflections, Cam, especially on 3rd down. We've seen ticky-tacky little bumps from the corners on 3rd down. We've seen big hits on 3rd downs. And it's frustrating from a Jacksonville perspective to really be denied prime opportunities to convert.
Kaishan Williams in the chat. Let me know if I said that correctly. Kaishan Williams, what's this? Well, I'll tell you. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast, but I don't mean to bring it back up again. The SFL, football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your play today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. All the players that you see out on the field right now, they are real people. They are represented by real people, many of them in the chat right now. And if you are playing in tonight's game and in the chat, let them know who you are and what you're all about, as Kevin said, gets a 3-yard pickup to bring up 2nd and 7. What's up, Supernova?
We don't often talk about the offensive linemen either, but they've had their hands full with this defensive 4 of Fuentes, Miller, Gary, and Fortson tonight.
Synergy will hand it off to Say. Say is going to push the pile forward. That's tough to do, especially with Joey Swint involved. Picks up a handful of yards, 3rd down and 2. Say up to 60 yards on 17 carries tonight.
3rd and short. Last time they were here on the last drive, they were denied on a running play. Do they go back to the well? Do they go back to their bread and butter and try and get Say across the 43-yard line?
Unbalanced to the right now. They're going to go left. Oh, Kevin Say got a massive block right at the middle of that play to pick up a 1st down. Can't wait to see who got that on the replay.
And it was Taquan Hale who tried to get him. He was almost there. Oh, what a block. Denying the tackle, and that would have hurt if I was Kevin Say.
That was just, I think it was the left tackle out there. It's big number 73 who got that block. 1st and 10, 2:43 to go as DC converts the 3rd down. The Dragons are 3 for 8 now on 3rd down as Kevin Say picks up 4, and Now DC's kind of looking at Jacksonville and saying, look, you're trying to be us. I don't think so. We're gonna do our thing now.
And we're just going to whittle away this clock. We're just going to jam the football down your throats with the running game and see whether or not you can stop us. And they put 9 men in the box to try and counter them.
2:20 to go in the third. You're right. 9 in the box with just a single high safety. They'll hand it off to Stellar, and Stellar's going nowhere. Surprise, Synergy did not check out of that. Now 3rd down and 6. Stellar's been very quiet. He's had some fantastic games this season, but just 17 yards on 5 carries.
Big 3rd down. DC were able to convert earlier in the drive, and now we see Jacksonville playing man-to-man on the outside. Will it be enough?
Synergy down the field, and again Percoco goes uncovered. It's been the one blemish tonight on Jacksonville's defensive game plan, her 4th catch.
Jacksonville playing coverage with their corners man-to-man out there, but they leave Percoco wide open again. It's tough for any linebacker to compete with a speedy tight end that is Laura Percoco, and that's just an easy pitch and catch from Synergy to Percoco.
Supernova, there are no dumb questions, just dumb people blaming the AI when it's all their fault. But we haven't seen a lot of that tonight because it's been great football. 1:28 to go in the third. 13-9 DC on the move. Synergy drops back to pass. That pass is nearly intercepted. Almost taken away by Toby Nerr, who's been terrific in coverage along with his brother. 2nd down.
And that's why we see a whole bunch of completions to Percoco instead of the wide receivers, because we got so many great corners in the SFL, and they just have been denying. This second half, this quarterback core for Jacksonville has really allowed nothing to the wideouts to.
Synergy on 2nd and 10. Percoco saves the Dragons offense again down to the Jacksonville 17-yard line.
Meanwhile, Percoco, it's a different story. Jacksonville have not been able to find an answer for her after her first target was dropped. She has been unguardable, unstoppable here tonight.
Channel 8, welcome in. Okay, YouTube algorithm, I see you. See you working. What's up, all the new people out there? 1 minute to go in the third. DC 13, Jacksonville 9, week 11 of season 21. Dragons fighting for a playoff spot, and Jacksonville fighting to stay relevant in the final month of the season. Kevin Say picks up 8 as the Kings desperately looking to hold him to 3.
And if you're just joining us, you're experiencing what DC loves to do. They love to run the football, and the center and the left guard create a nice hole for Synergy to run through, and they're just been killing off this game. This upcoming play will be the 10th of the drive, really taking it to Jacksonville tonight.
2nd and 2, just inside the 9. Lauren Percoco goes in motion. She has been the star of the night. 89 yards on 5 catches. Handoff. Say is met in the backfield. Another TFL for John Patrick. Actually, it's John Patrick Levine's first, 3rd and 3.
But another TFL for this Jacksonville defense. Can they find a way to stop DC inside the 10? It's been hit or miss on these 3rd downs, but we'll have to see when we go to the 4th quarter.
Put your 4s, 12s, 86s, 68s in the chat. 13-9. We got a ball game here. Chris Curtis, read us our rights.
This presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Thank you, Chris. Start of the 4th quarter. Ron Haynes and Frank Gooden on stats. Tyler Falk. I'm Cameron Irvine. 3rd and 3.
Albino jumbled his words again, Cam. You'll have to talk to him about that.
He's killing us. He's just absolutely killing us. 3rd and 3. 10 minutes left in this one. Synergy back to pass. Synergy over the middle. Caught by Percoco. She scooped it just before it hit the ground on a low pass for the score. Need another look at that one as Coach Mullinex looks on in his sharp attire.
My goodness, we talk about shoestring tackles. That might be a very nice shoestring catch. Oh my goodness, just beautifully done. And we talk about, you go back into the history of football, you see the immaculate reception. That was an immaculate catch. for a touchdown. And for Coco, headlining tonight's game for DC when the running game just hasn't been that too much of a story.
Lauren Prococo with her 7th touchdown of the season. She was 2nd in the SFL coming in, 1st among tight ends, and that is your nice hands catch of the game. Brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it. SFL 4K23. I see you, Ray. 2 yards deep in the end zone now. Jacksonville's got some work to do. Field goals are not going to be enough. Beasley gets it out to the 20-yard line. When you look at this game, 292 in total yardage for DC, 152 for the Kings. And they have not eclipsed 60 yards in any quarter. It's been kind of slow and methodical, which has kept them in the game. But after that last defensive series, Tyler, they gotta put something together big time here.
They got to kick it into high gear. They can't be conservative. Down by 11.
Slider off a backside blitz. Dumps it off to Shepard Vakarian. That was his best play of the night. 7-yard gain.
His slider senses were stimulated by the blindside rusher, and he just does a nice job. A veteran move just to dump it off to Vakarian and get positive yardage.
Folks, we have modded thousands of textures. These are your SFL teams in a video game. It is for real. As more information can be found on our website as Shepard Vakarian breaks a tackle. Vakarian's got a first down to the 35-yard line.
And that's just a beautiful play design. They load up along the right side, and they go left. And the defense just has to find a way to get back. Just see, there's only one guy out there, and Vakarian might have been needed a little extra help from his fullback there, but nonetheless, they pick up a first down.
By the way, I'm not what you would call like a superhero guy. I'm a football junkie, obviously, but slider senses, I got it, Tyler. I got it. That was pretty great. 1st and 10, hand off to Ballmer. Ballmer's going to pick up 5 more yards. Again, 8 carries coming into the game in the first 8 games of the season. He now has 7 against his former team.
I might not know certain TV shows, but I know my heroes. And Ballmer right now is being a hero for Jacksonville, just getting a few yards here on first down.
2nd down and 5, 8:40 to go in the 4th quarter. Hand off to Vakarian. They're sweeping right again. And once more, man, DC's all over it. Josh Vasquez having one of the best games of his career. This is it right here, 3rd down.
3rd and shorts are killing Jacksonville. They need to find a way to get a first down here.
Get the ball down the field. These corners are sharp for DC, man. They don't leave a lot open down the field. Talon Steele goes in motion. Quiet night for the tight end so far. Maybe Steele can get something going. One-on-one against linebacker Saeed Gore. He's going to go underneath. Kenny Slider looking around. Fires down the field. Incomplete. Ow. Slider tried to fit it to Darrell Bullock. I thought Steele was wide open on a crosser. 4th down. They're going to have to punt.
And I'm concerned about maybe not a potential flag on the outside. It looked like there was some hand fighting as the ball was in the air, but no yellow handkerchief from the black and white umpire.
Man, backs against the wall. Jacksonville will have to kick it away. This week's SFL games have nearly concluded, but the SFL party never ends. Join Dave Axis and the party people as he wraps up this week's SFL action on Axis After Dark immediately following tonight's game with me and Tyler. Show is always great. Jacksonville was mentioned, I believe honorable mention from Pink Lisa for their uniforms last week. It's a fun show, fun time. Simulationfl.net has the link. All right, 1st and 10 for DC. Jacksonville's defense, they got to get a stop.
We'll see DC probably employ a lot of the running game just to try and get rid of much clock as possible.
Handoff Say. Kevin Say picks up 3. And there they go on their mission to bleed the clock. Say with his 22nd carry.
And surprisingly, with those 2 tight ends on the left side, they weren't able to pick up an extra block. They're on the outside for a short yardage pickup. Great hustle from the linebackers to get to Say.
Kings, one of the fastest defenses in the league. No doubt about that. 2nd down and 7. Ronnie Shanahan goes in motion. Synergy hands it off. Chuck Stellar and John Martin, who was trailing the play, comes all the way from the backside and puts DC in a 3rd down situation.
He almost made a complete circle, didn't there?
Yeah.
And that, like we were talking, these King defenders are super quick and able to catch up to some of the fastest guys in the league.
By the way, Jacksonville has missed on their last 5 3rd down attempts, and the 3rd down has been what's killing them. It's been what's killed them in this second half. DC is 6 of 11. The handoff to Stellar, and Stellar's got a 1st down and more. Chuck Stellar, longest run of the night, gets out of the 44-yard line. That's been the difference in the second half, Tyler. 3rd downs, moving the sticks.
And it's the 3rd downs that DC has been able to find more often with more success and more reliability than Jacksonville here this evening. And the Kings defense has been playing on its heels on 3rd down nearly all night tonight. And unfortunately, it's just coming to bite them at the worst possible time.
And I don't think Sanders is coming back in this game. Went out after his 5th carry. Handoff to Say. Say dragged down by Martin. 2-yard gain. But with every 1st down DC gains, Jacksonville gets further and further away from pulling the upset. Wish I could pull off a sweater vest.
Nice little retro throwback there from Destro and company. Just adding to the customization, adding to the brand that they're trying to cultivate in DC.
Shabazz, wide open. Lauren Percoco, that has been just a gut punch to Jacksonville throughout the evening. What a check by Synergy to get her back involved. She's over 100.
It's the old adage. You want to creep up on defense, and we're just going to keep run the ball. We'll throw a little curveball, wrench into your plans, and hit our best target of the season for Coco, over 170 or 117 yards.
Tyler, that's been Jacksonville's season. Just 1 or 2 areas of the game in every game where they've just been totally outplayed. In this game, it's DC on 3rd down and Lauren Percoco and how they've used her. Say picks up 6, and you can feel the air starting to leave the balloon of the Lions den here.
And it's just tense. A 7th loss has in the last few seasons doomed teams' playoff hopes. They need a stop in the worst way here.
Say on the outside, and Martin gets the stop. John Martin's 10th solo tackle, another 3rd down coming up.
And they find the spark. Are they able to contain Say? DC's gone left and right with their runs. They go up the middle on some 3rd downs. Can they plug up the holes here?
Say got it. 20-on-20 crime there. Young Vaught on the stop. Look, I mean, you just got to get into your 5-minute offense, right? As long as your defense holds to 3, you give yourself a chance. You get down the field, get a touchdown, recover an onside kick. It's a whole new ball game. A touchdown here all but finishes this. 1st down. Again. DC sucking the life out of the Kings' late season hopes. Hand off to Say. Martin there once more. A 5-yard pickup.
Leads the defense, but the credit has to go to DC's offense. Another long drive, and they've mixed it up. A little bit of passing to Percoco to catch Jacksonville off guard. It's going to be another 10-plus play drive with play number 10 upcoming.
Say now 6 of the 9 touches on this drive, including 4 straight. 2nd down and 5. Under 4 to go in the 4th. Hand off to Say. Say is going to lose plenty in the backfield. Alex Bond, the 9-season veteran and 2-time All-Star, with the takedown. That makes things a little bit more interesting on 3rd down. Someone, for the love of God, cover Lauren.
And just to credit Alex Bond, he took a few seasons off. He's back with Jacksonville, and he makes a solid tackle there on the outside when Jacksonville needed it the most. 3rd and 7. We've seen DC dial up a couple different plays. No Percoco on the field. This might be a run.
James Walters in the backfield at fullback. 3rd and 7. Interesting look here out of the Dragons as they mix things up. Run the clock down. Jacksonville blitzes. It is a run to Stellar. Chuck Stellar! Oh my gosh! First down! What a step-up run as DC will continue to bleed him out.
Old-fashioned bully ball. Stellar lowers his shoulder. Nothing that Tigga Clay could do about it. And Jacksonville, again, you were talking earlier, Cam. These little things have just surmounted Jacksonville's chances tonight as DC continue. This drive started all the way back near the 8-minute mark, and it's already closing on the 2-minute warning. A solid game-killing drive for the Dragons.
If they get another first down, Tyler, Jacksonville may not even get off the field. Depending upon when that happens, this is wild. Walters now goes in motion, leaves Percoco uncovered, 2 on the play clock. They get set, handoff goes to Say. Say is brought down by John Martin after a 3-yard gain, the 12th play of the drive.
And we're talking like this game is within a score, but it's still within reachable distance if Jacksonville come up with a stop. But it's just exciting to watch an old school rushing attack just have its way with a new age speedy defense, and really DC just putting a stamp on this football game. This is DC Dragon football.
Hey, we saw a 98-yard fumble return for a touchdown earlier this week in the Indy-Tulsa game. I can say that, Tyler, because y'all won. I'm not rubbing it in your face.
Right.
2-minute warning to go. Wow, DC, impressive. Down the stretch, Jacksonville hoping for a rip. Ball at the 11-yard line for the Kings. One of the more impressive drives of this SFL season. 2nd and 7. Say is met in the backfield. 3rd and 10. Timeout Kings. This is their moment.
Now, where do you go if you're DC? Do you try and dial up something for maybe the final dagger and a touchdown? Might we see Percoco over the middle? Maybe to just solidify things. Again, Percoco not in the field.
Interesting. And now split backs here. 3rd down and 10. What do they do here? Synergy hands it off to Say. Kevin Say almost got that one. That's a pickup of 8. The Kings do get the stop. A little bit surprising there, Tyler, that they didn't air it out, but we talked about the red zone turnovers. This is DC football. They don't make mistakes. They don't try and do anything flashy. They just play solid football. They're going to take the 3.
Want to be something to do a fake field goal here and really catch Jacksonville and the rest of us off guard.
That would be nuts. Ron Potty's just going to kick it. I really wanted that to happen after you said it. It sounded like a really good idea. 15 plays, 74 yards, 6-minute and 6-second drive for DC, but all things considered, 1 minute 47 seconds left. Jacksonville, we've not seen their 2-minute offense at work yet this evening as DC had the ball in the final minute of the first half. Could Jacksonville get something going in a different part of their playbook? Down 2 touchdowns. They need it now more than ever. From 2 yards deep in the end zone, Beasley's going to bring it out on the kick return and only get out to the 28-yard line. Good coverage there from the Dragons. All right, now or never for Jacksonville, Tyler.
DC not only in the playoff race, but also in the Atlantic Division race, trying to keep up with Baltimore, who picked up another win. They're 7-3. DC trying to stay within a makeable, maybe a come-from-behind division win. But a win would also see them move to 5-4 and move really into that maybe a contention spot for the 12th spot in the playoff race. Jacksonville, meanwhile, this is it. This is their season on the line here and now.
O.J. Bruin is out there, going to send Beasley in motion. They do have 1 timeout, so if they don't get out of bounds, might expect a timeout. 4 receivers, 3 to the left for Bruin. O.J. going to sling it deep, and he overthrows his intended receiver, just his 2nd incompletion of the night. We've mentioned it before. We've seen it. This is the 3rd game this season out of 9 that the Dragons have not given up a touchdown. These defensive backs are just terrific.
They don't allow mistakes, both in just composure and mentally, but also physically. They don't allow you to really get involved with your offense and how you would like it. And that's why we saw a desperation throw on first down, second down throw.
Bruins pass caught by Talon Steele. So first down, there is a player injured on the field. That is Xavier Rue III down for the Dragons. So you lose a corner at a pivotal moment of this game, but that's why you build depth, Tyler. 3 other corners on this roster. Dragons should be okay.
And one of the better corners that we've seen from DC. Rowe with 3 tackles, led all his cornerback representatives, but has been really more of a force in the passing game, just helping solidify the coverage down now. And now Jacksonville, maybe this is a shining shimmer ray of hope.
It does save the Kings a timeout, though. With that injury, the ball's at the 39-yard line. Bruin back to pass. Bruin fires down the field, picks up 9. That's Connor Weston. And there's your final timeout for the Kings. So they didn't really get much going to the sideline. Could not or was not able to preserve that timeout. Kings are going to need a touchdown, recover an onside kick, and another touchdown in 90 seconds.
And DC really haven't sent a whole lot of pressure on passes. Now they got 8 men nearly in the box. Maybe that changes here.
They bring a blitz, corner blitz. O.J. Bruin throws that direction. Oh, Weston dropped it. They blitzed Peanut Say, and O.J. makes a great read.
Wow. Weston, some of the best hands in the league for the last couple of seasons, and you saw it. You saw it on his face, the sheer shock that he dropped it.
Oh, what a gut punch. 3rd and 1. 1:27 left. Bruin shakes it off, and it's dropped again by Weston. I can't watch.
Oh, my goodness. It's Groundhog Day. It's a nightmare for Weston and for Jacksonville. That's 4th and 1. What can Jacksonville come up with? They just need a yard. They don't need to try and punch it downfield. Just get a yard, Jacksonville.
Weston, their leading receiver tonight. 4 catches, 40 yards. Empty on 4th and 1. This is it. Bruin back to pass. Bruin down the field. Incomplete, and DC's going to win the game after back-to-back drops from Weston. That pass overthrown as DC's coverage does it again. Not a single throw of over 20 yards tonight for Jacksonville.
And Ellington might have heard the steps from the safety there, but what could have been for the Jacksonville Kings? Instead, it's another day, another page written in this DC Dragons story, as they will have a solid chance of making the postseason now with the win here in Jacksonville, and maybe even looking at an Atlantic Division title chase as they try and chase down Baltimore. But for Jacksonville, to quote MSG Mike St. Green, it's the story of the season for the Kings. Just little things adding up, and unfortunately, it adds up to a loss here tonight at home.
The last month of the season, Jacksonville's played some great football. They've lost by 9, 10, 10, and now here tonight 14. It just hasn't been good enough. If this team can keep the nucleus together, keep building on what they are building here as part of their rebuilding project, this team is going to be okay. That is a tough loss to swallow. DC improves to 5-4. They're a game and a half back of the Vultures, who have swept them. They will tie Carolina. But remember, the Dragons beat Carolina earlier this season 27-6. So that will move DC into the 8th spot for now. The next 3 games for DC are no joke. They return home to host Florida, then Canton. Then they finish the season at Charleston, who beat them in week 1. The Dragons got plenty left to decide for themselves over the past 3 weeks, or the next 3 weeks.
It's going to be tough sledding here, Cam, for the DC Dragons. But if they're going to face a division winner, and right now one of the division leaders in Canton, this will be a really good proving ground for DC. Can they keep those teams in check like they've kept Jacksonville in check tonight? Good win for the Dragons here in the Lions' Den.
What a ball game. Let's take a look at the final statistics here tonight as DC gets a 23-9 win, their 3rd game this season where they did not give up a touchdown, and Jacksonville turns in a mere 187 yards of offense, although it didn't feel that way. But 2 for 10, Tyler, on third down. That's what Minnesota had in their 34-6 loss against Fort Worth earlier this week. I mean, it's just not going to get it done. And look at the passing, 3.3 yards per attempt. I'm going to credit DC on that one, Tyler, because they just don't give up anything past the sticks.
And whether, even if it was past the sticks or before the sticks, DC kept Jacksonville contained in the air attack tonight. A solid day for this defensive core, and no one likes to play against DC because they know how DC can play on defense. You have to be on your A game. Unfortunately for the Kings, they were not tonight with a dual threat quarterback system that they employ. But huge credit to this defense. Josh Vasquez, leader in tackles tonight. Mr. Bullock also in tackles as well. Him and Martin. Huge credit to Martin. He gets a game ball for me. For the defense for Jacksonville, just wasn't enough to slow down DC.
DC improves to 5-4 for all the newcomers tonight watching the SFL. We hope you enjoyed it. Week 12 begins on Friday with 4 games starting in Canton between the 5-4 Carolina Skyhawks and the 6-4 Canton Classics. It should be a great one. From all of us in our SFL crews and studios, Ron Haynes and Frank Gooden on stats. He's Tyler Falk. I've been Cameron Irvine. Take care, everyone. Have a great week.